This is Jordan Tao with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so the day started off with Diddy, where they were cross-examining the male dancer, the guy that they hired to dance for Cassie, and it turned into Diddy watching Cassie, his girlfriend, have sex with this male dancer. We got into him witnessing hearing some abuse, instructions from Cassie to urinate on her, a lot of weird stuff. Well, Cassie, they're getting right to it. Cassie's going to be testifies today, and I'm going to read part of that. It's still ongoing as we speak. I'm going to do a full wrap up today, but they wanted Alex Fine, her husband, who was the trainer Diddy hired, out of the courtroom when this happened. They all rise. They, coach the jurors. The jurors also raise issues as well as the prosecutor about video exhibits being entered and, who's going to see these explicit pornographic videos that Diddy and her took. And they're going to keep it kind of PG from the audience in the public. The government calls Cassie Ventura. She takes the stand while extremely pregnant. She states she's 38 and she's a music entertainer. She says, did you get in arguments? They talk about, he would drag her. He was violent often. And then they talk about the LA hotel video where, at the Intercontinental Los Angeles, it was after a freak off when Diddy kicked her after hiring an escort. She tried to get away and Diddy kicked her. She says, so then they get to the start of all this. How did you feel when he first asked for it? Confused and nervous. I wanted to make him happy. She wasn't sure she wanted to do, but he ended up doing it very frequently. She also states she reviewed the drive and the communications between her and Combs and the photos in it. And they start referencing these photos. And the deal she signed with Bad Boy, it was a 10-album deal. She was signed in 2006. And then she states she had met Kim Porter, Sean, and a lot of Sean's exes when she was first signed to Bad Boy. And she would visit him in the Trump Hotel in Columbus Circle while his apartment was being, renovated. And they would talk about, the concept of her album and all the shots they were going to take and everything. And she felt nervous and excited to talk about music. But then she got introduced to oral sex and she didn't understand it. All of a sudden they were talking about an album. Now they're having oral sex. She would get introduced to people like Dallas Austin on boat trips where, she would take dolphin ecstasy and she didn't even know she was taking it. It was in Gatorade. So I guess it was like blue Gatorade. And she said it felt like she was rolling. She thought she was monogamous, but it was never made public. She was an artist and she would meet his family. She'd meet assistants who would get things done. He traveled a bit, so she would be taken to strip clubs and different things by assistants. Let's see. Then she'd talk about mood swings where he'd be zoning out. And some days he'd be nice, sometimes he'd be mean. Assistants would manage the relationship. She talked about that she would see other men and he would see other girls and she'd become jealous. But he said, I'm Diddy, I got a party. Then she said she wrote hundreds of songs never released. They signed a 10-album deal, but only one got released the whole time. And she never got paid for any of the music she wrote. She eventually moved to LA to be close to him. She had her own place. He had his own place, but he would come over often. The freak-offs became a job, and there was no time to do anything else but recover from this. Sometimes they'd take 4 days to do these freak-offs, where it would just be having sex for 4 days straight. They take a break and they come back. She says, how did you make money if records weren't being released? She says, I do parties, and Sean would approve of them. And then they talked about her nails and how she liked them and how she liked to do her hair when she shaved it and stuff like that. And he would make her work out for these freak offs. He'd give her cash, but then he'd give her things and take it away, like laptops and computers. And The staff would manage these devices, and if she was good, she'd get them back, but she'd get punished, and they'd take these things away. Let's see. She eventually started living with him, and she said she saw cash, jewelry, cameras, videotapes, guns, all this other stuff. There was an incident between Suge Knight. She says there was a freak off in L.A. and D-Rock came, and they had a issue with Suge Knight at a diner. Yeah, and then she talks about the drugs and everything else, mushrooms. Diddy just had her drugged out all the time. And then it keeps going on, and she breaks down crying on the stand, and she's pregnant. This is where Diddy's going to get cooked. We're going to have to go through the rest of this. When they finish with her, she's going to get cross-examined by Diddy's team. Now, the government's asking all these questions now and building their case, but then Diddy's 9 lawyers are going to now go through her. This is going to take 2 or 3 days with her on the stand, obviously. I'll keep you guys up to date. This is Jordan Taylor with JT News. Peace.